Lord Alton is a crossbench peer. Thank you very much. Why are you so against having the Chinese delegation at the funeral or in Westminster, in the Palace of Westminster?
Well, Patrick, I think at a time of profound national mourning, some of which you've just shown your viewers, that it is in very bad taste, but I also think it's flat-footed and a very controversial decision to invite representatives of the Chinese Communist Party into Westminster. I think it's a bad decision because it's an affront to parliamentary democracy. I think it's a bad decision because of the inconsistencies of banning some but not others. I think it's a bad decision because it's invidious for the King, for the Prime Minister, for the Foreign Secretary, for the speakers of both houses to have been placed in this position. And perhaps most importantly of all, it is a bad decision because it's an affront to all those who suffer at the hands of the Chinese Communist Party. Think of the million Uyghurs who are incarcerated in Xinjiang. Think about the destruction of parliamentary democracy in Hong Kong. Think of the beating of the war drums every day in the military sorties over the 23 million inhabitants of Taiwan. Or think about the massive violation of human rights of people inside China itself and the ravaging of places like Tibet. All of that taken together demonstrates why the Chinese Communist Party, who have already been banned by the Speaker and by the Lord Speaker because of the sanctioning of parliamentarians such as myself, purely for expressing, as we do day by day in Parliament, our beliefs, our views, our opinions, all of which we cherish, not least because they were upheld by our late and greatly mourned head of state. So I think this is an affront, and one which is so controversial. It should. I can't
just quickly. Sorry, it's just I could listen to you talk as eloquently as you are about this all day, but I just want to get one more answer from you, if that's okay, before I have to. If I don't throw to the weather on time, my earpiece explodes and I never work again. So, Lord Alton, obviously our Queen wasn't necessarily best pleased with the last Chinese delegation, or one of the last Chinese delegations we had here. But China does not mean us well, do they? In fact, as we understand it at the minute, pretty much, China and Russia, as our former guest, Paul Murray of Sky News Australia, said, are carving up the world.
He's right. They are carving up the world. And only yesterday we saw President Xi and President Putin, who have said that they are blood brothers and who are united in a lifelong alliance, was the way they described it. But listen, when the Chinese Communist Party enter Westminster Abbey, they should just look at the niches above the doorway. And there are two statues there that tell you everything you need to know. One is of a pastor, Wang Zhenjing, who was executed by the Chinese Communist Party, and another is of Princess Elizabeth. And who was she? She was the great aunt of the Duke of Edinburgh, and she was executed by the Soviet communists. These are people who still do these wicked things, and therefore they should have no easy access to the Mother of Parliaments, which is one of the issues that are at stake here. But at a time of profound national mourning, this is not the right thing to be doing.